Oh, did we say that this episode would come out on May 17th of 2020? Yeah, that was a typo and we meant 2021. We've been hard at work over the past year, definitely not just the last 2 weeks, to make sure that this is our best episode yet, so enjoy.
Good morning and welcome to week 10 of the World Adventure. It's hard to believe that it's already week 10. I was trying to record this thinking that it was still last week. We're still in Ho Chi Minh City and we're making our way to the Chuchi Tunnels, which is some very famous Vietnam tunnels where I think southern Vietnamese basically dug deep and very slim tunnels for miles and miles. And it'll take us miles and miles to get there because we're going to be on this public bus for the next 3 hours. Now it's time to explore the tunnels. We'll see if David can actually fit. Rude.
After some questionable information from our guide, he took us to some of the tunnels and let us squeeze our way inside.
I don't know if I can fit this in here. All right, successful trip to the Chuchi Tunnels. Successful trip to the Chuchi Tunnels. I think that's the third time I've mispronounced it. There's not really a lot of usable footage in the tunnels, but you can keep in mind they were very small. I don't think David fit.
My legs hurt so much from trying to move myself through there. My back was constantly scraping against the ceiling.
And I was having a really hard time fitting, and he's like 3 feet taller than me. But it was really interesting and really cool. I think them being the right size, because these are the non-touristy tunnels, these are the real tunnels that were used, made the experience worth it and my legs burn. But now it's time to do the 2.5 hours home. After 5 hours in total, we survived Vietnam public transit. Now we have to wait till 8 p.m. where we have a hot date reservation. So dark. And as is tradition, gotta end the night with ice cream. Alright, good morning. It's our last day in Vietnam and we're off to the airport to hit our Taiwan flight. Excited for Taiwan?
Yeah, back to civilization for the rest of the trip pretty much.
And dumplings. Lots of dumplings. liked, of the 4 cities that we went to, I think I only really liked one of them, that being Chiang Mai, and I think Dave and I both agree on that. Right? Did you like Chiang Mai? The other 3, i.e. Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and Bangkok, they had some cool elements to them. Like Bangkok had the Grand Palace, which was nice. Hanoi had some interesting local culture stuff. Ho Chi Minh had the Vietnam War stuff, but they seem to be more party cities and more like super busy and not about, experiencing the local culture and getting the local experience. It was more of transplanting big city life into these various different cultures, which was okay. It was fun, but we've seen a lot of big cities, so it's not too new to us, aside from the food that populates that city. But now we're on the express train to go to Taipei, the main city, which will probably have the same complaint of it just being a large city. I hope not, but we have 8 days in Taiwan, so if we don't like Taipei, we'll just train around to another small city over here. We were asked to put on masks. Oh my god, I look like such a loser. I think I put it on backwards. The squad, represent. Make sure you breathe on this. Checked in the hostel. It's dumpling time. Or good afternoon. It's day 2 in Taipei. We still have no idea what we're doing, so we're gonna fix that by planning over some beef noodles. Alright, now we're back at the hostel after going to some fire beef noodles at a Michelin honorable mention sort of place. And we have our 7-day itinerary today. We're going to go to the Taipei 101 Tower, get some Din Tai Fung, very famous dumplings, do some other things here in Taipei City, and the rest is a surprise until later this week. They only took cash and I didn't have any, and so we went to a different place. Got this one. Alright, this is the baby elevator. Next elevator, world's fastest elevator.
We weren't able to record the screen inside, but the elevator moves at 38 miles per hour and it only took about 44 seconds to reach the 89th floor, where we were greeted with this view. Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Ridiculously underwhelming. Because of the smog,
because of the clouds, so there was no sunset. The outdoor observatory was cool. The dampener was cool. Aside from that, it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting being that really, that far up, but we were talking about it. I think the Space Needle in Seattle is a lot cooler, just because you can see a lot more.
Now it's for Din Tai Fung, which will not be disappointing. Famous last words. Okay, so I spent 4 minutes trying to get the shot of the order changing to our order number, and the lady came up to double check her order, and while she was double checking and me talking to her, they changed the number, so I missed the shot. I got laughed at by 2 people. People were staring at me. I invested all I could into this shot, and I still didn't fucking get it. Ugh. Alright, definitely not overrated. Highlight of the night. Now we're gonna go figure out how to do multi-day passes, and we'll see you tomorrow. Alright, good morning. It's day 2, someday in Taiwan, and I can't think right now. We're currently heading to a hike that's in the northeast of Taiwan. That's like 2 to 3 hours away, but our bus leaves or our train leaves in 5 minutes. We don't know where it is, and we're like 3 minutes away.
We're not gonna make it, but there's other options. It'll be fun.
Okay, we didn't make the first train, but there seems to be better alternatives for a little bit more price. We'll see, because Google says we gotta take an Uber, but we think we can take a bus at that station. So now it's a train and 2 buses.
By the time we got off of the bus, it was around lunchtime. There was only one restaurant open. While it was great, it was unexpectedly expensive, but we had no other options. With our stomachs now full, we headed to the trail. Okay, so we've arrived at the bus station at the bottom of the hike. One of the best hikes I think we've done so far in terms of value, because it was a super easy hike and we got to see some very amazing sights. The only downside was while we were climbing, we heard rumors that there are some travel bans that are going to be set in place that will affect us in Saturday in the US, which will mean Sunday for us. So that means that on Sunday, we'll basically learn if the trip is going to be canceled or not. I sure hope it's not.
And the reason why we're a little nervous is that Japan is currently, pretty high in cases, and that's our next stop for 3 months. There's already a travel ban on Europe for 30 days, so we may be in real trouble for that. So now we're going to Taipei, and considering the content we have, I don't think I'm going to record the way home. So the next time we'll see you will either be at the night market or tomorrow. All right, good afternoon. Next day in Taipei. Didn't do anything exciting last night. More on the trip possibly getting canceled while my mind is still on it. The idea is both very exciting and very frustrating. The fact that I was thinking about it, and it would be great to go home and lay in my bed and eat some Chipotle. But I'm so stubbornly committed to the 6-month idea that it's making me really debate, even if on Sunday, if there's a travel ban, should I actually go home? I don't know what David's thoughts are. I'm sure I'll grab them later. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess Sunday is really a make it or break it day for this, what was a 6-month-long adventure. But today we're going to go to another naturey spot. It's a green reef to the north. It should take us about 3 hours to get there. And we'll see you there. But first, it's time for the daily meal. What's on her dating profile? What she looks like in real life. I've read so many glowing reviews of this place, and we're gonna go down and see if the new perspective makes it look better. Changing perspective didn't really help, but now there's a lighthouse over here that we'll check out as well, I guess. All right, now we finished the lighthouse, so we're gonna catch the bus home. I'm not gonna record any travel footage because I'm getting bored of recording it. I think you're getting bored of watching it. So we'll see you at the night market in Taipei.
Good morning. It's what I like to call super f***ing early in the morning. Today we're going to a national park.
Roughly halfway to the park. We got off the train in a city close by, and we're taking the bus the hour or 2 hours the rest of the way. First time getting pestered in Taiwan about a taxi though at the bus stop, which was kind of strange. We finally made it. It's really pretty, but not wearing pants was a mistake. All right, that trail was a bust, so now we're gonna do this one. It's about 5 kilometers. Hopefully it should take us less than 5 hours. Alright, now that we've successfully completed the hike, it's time to walk back to the city we came from. I stopped recording right as it happened, but this monkey just ripped some cheese bread out of David's hand. This was the most aggressive grab I've seen in my entire life.
Literally jumped up like on top of me, ripped it out of my hands. They're smart. I was looking at them. I was like, oh hey, there's a monkey, and then I turned, and then my bread's gone.
Side for dramatic effect. Okay, so it is currently the next day. Good afternoon. We just got back from eating lunch about 30 minutes ago. David went to go and check out the disc golf course for his tournament so we can get some practice in before the actual go round so that he can win. There's some more coronavirus information this week, just when I thought there couldn't be any more, and the fact that American Airlines is starting to scale down its long-haul flights. And what that means for us is that the flight providers that work out of Taiwan, so like United, Air Canada, etc., may follow suit or may get a similar idea to start scaling down long-haul flights, which includes us here in Taiwan or other countries that we could probably be in. So all in all, that means that if we risk staying, we could essentially get caught, trapped in a particular country with no way of getting back because there's just no flights that'll take us there. So even though like every fiber of my being is screaming, we gotta keep continuing this trip, gotta keep going, logically it's starting to fall through just because getting stuck is it's really not an option. I mean, we have money to stay in particular places for a long time, but it just gets tricky with visas and moving from country to country and our higher risk of getting infected. Not that America's too much better at this point. Everybody's freaking out and it's hard to get resources that you need, unlike here in Taiwan, but it's super unfortunate. It's making me, very upset. So Dave is going to make his final decision sometime around tonight, I think, which means I probably will as well. So today could very well be the end of the vlog and or the world trip.
yeah, I think that's really all I have to say. We'll enjoy some lighthearted disc golf and then get back to making the hard decisions tonight.
All right, so of all the earlier things I mentioned, disc golf and the night market, we did neither. David didn't make it in time for the tournament, and we've been trying to figure out how to do stuff around coronavirus all day, so we didn't go out. But I think we had a call with my dad, who basically strongly advised us to book a ticket back. And looking at all of the options, I think we're gonna take his assessment. So looks like this will be the end of the world trip, end of the vlog. This won't be the final, little bit. We'll still have going home tomorrow and whatnot. But David just bought his flight to San Francisco and then to Seattle. For a little logic behind the discussion, basically our only options at this point were staying in Taiwan for a little bit longer because we have a 90-day visa. And so we could, in theory, just ride out our visa, and Taiwan is really safe in terms of cases. Or we could risk it by going to another country. Most Asian countries are out, like Japan, China's out, just because their cases are increasing, so they're more likely to get travel banned. We could go to something like South Africa, but there are no direct flights home, and I don't know if I necessarily want to risk not having a direct flight home and then getting stuck in transit, which would really suck. Yeah, and then going home is the third option. So all in all, I think we had a good trip. I'm sure we'll do a post-mortem tomorrow of us crying and talking about it. And David now is gonna talk to his parents. We'll probably get a little bit of footage of that and throw it in here. But so as far as everything is concerned, I think today is our last day in Taiwan and of the world trip. All right, we're gonna enjoy our last night of freedom by going to the night market. I guess not freedom, but Taiwan. Also freedom, depending on what U.S. health officials say about us. I won't miss you, 82nd crosswalk. We didn't find anything we like or trusted, so we're gonna go to McDonald's for the third night in a row. When we saw the same worker 2 nights in a row, so hopefully he isn't here again. Good morning. It's our final morning in Taiwan. Headed to the airport now. Final train ride of the trip. Last airport lounge. Window gang. We survived our flight and we're back in the US. All right, we made it off the airplane. I left my AirPods. I had a fight with 2 agents to search for it because they wouldn't let me on the plane, but we got them. Now we're gonna see how long it takes for us to get through customs.
Looks like there's a bit of a line up there, so let's see.
Correction, I only had a fight with 1 agent. The first agent was very nice. All right, made it through customs in probably record time because of global entry. Thanks global entry. Now we have to go back through security, and probably the harshest security we've gone since we left Taiwan.
We have pre-check.
I mean, compared to like South America, it's basically pre-check. Oh, it's a little chilly. Okay, we'll see you at the lounge for 6 hours. We had a little bit of an egg accident. Arrived at the airport for 6 hours. Now it's time to board. Final plane boarding. David's way far behind because he's so nervous. Final flight of the trips, David. How do you feel? If you're still watching this a year later, thank you so much for coming along with us on this once-in-a-lifetime journey. It may not have ended the way we expected, but looking back at it now, it's amazing to see our growth as travelers, from almost getting lost in South America to navigating the complex public transit of Taiwan. This trip was full of experiences that will stick with us to the rest of our lives, and to conclude the series, we wanted to relive some of our favorites. Enjoy.